Have you ever continued betting just because you've already invested a lot and can't bear the thought of losing it all? This common predicament isn't just about luck or poor decision-making, it's a psychological trap known as the sunk cost fallacy. Picture this: a gambler at a slot machine down by $100, yet they keep feeding the machine more money. Why? They believe that the next pull could turn their losses into a windfall. In the world of gambling, the sunk cost fallacy seductively whispers that past investments can predict future outcomes. It convinces gamblers that the more they play, the closer they are to winning, despite the odds remaining unchanged. This fallacy isn't just a fleeting thought, it's a powerful force that can lead to throwing good money after bad, chasing losses with an almost religious fervor. Understanding this concept is the first step in avoiding its costly grip. Let's delve deeper into this pitfall and understand why it's crucial to recognize it. What exactly is the sunk cost fallacy, and why does it ensnare even the sharpest minds? At its core, the sunk cost fallacy occurs when we continue a venture or an endeavor simply because we've already invested resources into it, such as time, money, or effort, and we cannot recover these investments. This irrational commitment can cloud our judgment, leading us to make decisions that aren't beneficial in the long run. Imagine you're at a theater, watching a movie that turns out to be disappointingly dull. Halfway through, you realize that staying is just wasting your time. However, you decide to sit through the rest of it because you've already paid for the ticket. That's the sunk cost fallacy in action. You can't get your money back, but you can certainly save your time, yet, the money already spent irrationally anchors you to your seat. Now, let's pivot this understanding to the world of gambling, a domain where this fallacy frequently plays a dramatic role. Picture a gambler at a slot machine. They've been feeding the machine money for hours, hoping for a big payout. As they continue, the losses stack up. Logically, the best move would be to stop, cut the losses, and walk away. But here comes the sunk cost fallacy. The gambler thinks, "I've already put in so much, I can't stop now, or all that money will have been wasted." So they keep playing, often sinking deeper into loss, driven by the fallacy that the more they invest, the closer they get to recouping their losses. This scenario is a classic trap, where the decision to continue isn't based on the likelihood of winning, but rather on the desire to not let the previous investments go to waste. It's a powerful, often subconscious drive that can lead to significant financial and emotional damage. Now that we know what it is, let's see how it specifically affects gamblers. Imagine you're at a casino, down by a significant amount. What do? It's a question that tests the mettle of many gamblers, and often the notion of sunk costs plays a cunning role in the decision-making process. Let's delve into a typical scenario. You're at a slot machine, and you've been feeding it money for hours. Initially, the losses seemed manageable, but now they've accumulated into a sizable amount. The machine hasn't paid out yet, and a voice in your head whispers, "Just a few more spins and it might pay off." This is a classic illustration of the sunk cost fallacy at work. You continue to play, not because you believe the odds are in your favor, but because you feel that the money you've already spent somehow justifies further expenditure. Or consider the poker table. You plan to leave at 10, yet here you are at midnight, chips dwindling. The idea of leaving now when you're so far behind seems unacceptable. You think, if I can just get back to where I started, I can walk away. Thus you stay, hand after hand, driven not by a strategic decision, but by the money and time already gone, sunk into the green felt abyss. In both these cases, the logical fallacy is that the money lost is gone, irrespective of future actions. Yet the fallacy seduces the mind into believing that continued gambling can somehow redeem these losses. This misbelief can lead to a dangerous cycle where the more one loses, the more compelled one feels to continue, hoping to recover sunk costs. Moreover, the environment of the casino, with its bright lights, constant sounds, and the occasional sound of someone else winning, only amplifies this fallacy. It creates an atmosphere of potential, a misleading sense that the next bet could turn everything around. These examples highlight the trap of sunk costs. But what impact does this have on a gambler's overall experience and decisions? The grip of sunk cost fallacy isn't just about money, it's psychological. When gamblers fall into this trap, it's not merely a financial loss they suffer, but a profound emotional and psychological toll as well. Today, let's delve into how this fallacy impacts the minds and emotions of those who gamble. Firstly, the sunk cost fallacy can significantly amplify stress levels. As gamblers invest more time and money, the pressure to recover lost amounts can lead to overwhelming stress. This is not just a theory, it's backed by numerous psychological studies. According to research published in the Journal of Behavioral Addictions, gamblers experiencing sunk costs report higher levels of stress and anxiety compared to those who can walk away. Regret also plays a crucial role in the psychological landscape of a gambler caught in the sunk cost fallacy. This regret isn't just about the money lost, but also about the time and opportunities squandered. Psychologists argue that this type of regret can lead to a vicious cycle of gambling, as one tries to fix past mistakes by gambling even more, which only leads to further regrets. Moreover, the illusion of control is a critical aspect exacerbated by the sunk cost fallacy. Gamblers often believe that they can influence the outcome of a game of chance through their skills or strategies. This belief is dangerously boosted when they think just one more game can turn their fortunes around, ignoring the randomness of gambling outcomes. The fallacy makes them feel that since they have already invested so much, they must continue, falsely assuming they have control over winning their losses back. Experts in gambling psychology, like Dr. Mark Griffiths, emphasize that understanding these emotional and psychological consequences is vital. It's not just about advising gamblers to stop, it's about helping them understand the irrational compulsions driving their behavior. Understanding these impacts can be the first step towards better decision-making. By recognizing how sunk costs play tricks on our minds, gamblers can begin to develop strategies to avoid these psychological traps, potentially leading to healthier gambling habits or cessation altogether. So, how can gamblers escape the clutches of the sunk cost fallacy? It's a question that, when answered, can transform a perilous habit into a more controlled endeavor. Let's delve into some practical strategies that can help. Firstly, setting strict limits is crucial. Before stepping into a casino or logging into an online betting account, decide on a fixed amount of money you're willing to risk. This isn't just about how much you can afford to lose, it's about setting a boundary that respects your financial health and well-being. Once this limit is reached, it's time to step away, regardless of past losses or the tantalizing possibility of winning big. This limit acts as a safeguard, ensuring that the money and time already spent don't pressure you into risking more. Another effective tool is maintaining a gambling diary. This might sound tedious, but it's incredibly effective. In this diary, record every detail about your gambling sessions, the date, the type of gambling, the amount spent, and importantly, your feelings before, during, and after. Reviewing this diary can provide insightful patterns that may reveal how sunk costs influence your decisions. It's a form of self-accountability that heightens awareness of your gambling habits. Seeking professional help is also a powerful step. This can range from therapists specializing in gambling addictions to joining support groups like Gamblers Anonymous. Professional guidance not only helps in understanding the psychological triggers behind your gambling, but also provides tools and strategies to cope with them. Remember, asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Lastly, educating oneself about the fallacy can also dismantle its power. Understanding that past bets are irrecoverable can shift your focus to current and future activities where your time and money could be better invested. Implementing these strategies can help keep the fallacy at bay and lead to healthier gambling habits. By recognizing the trap of the sunk cost fallacy and actively working against it, gamblers can foster a more rational and controlled approach to gambling. Today, we've uncovered how a simple psychological trap can have profound effects on gamblers. The sunk cost fallacy, a cognitive bias that compels us to continue on a course of action simply because we've already invested in it, is particularly perilous in the realm of gambling. This fallacy can cloud judgment, leading one to chase losses in the hopes of recouping past investments, but often resulting in even greater losses. Throughout our discussion, we've seen how this fallacy operates in the casino environment, subtly urging players to keep placing bets even when it's rational to walk away. It's clear that understanding this bias is the first step in guarding against its deceptive pull. Awareness is crucial. Recognizing when you're falling into the sunk cost trap can empower you to make decisions based on the present circumstances rather than past expenditures. This proactive approach is essential for anyone who engages in gambling. Next time you gamble, remember, past losses are past. Focus on the present and gamble responsibly.